Welcome. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. This book you are about to enter is not meant to be read like ordinary knowledge. It is not a collection of spiritual ideas, not a philosophy, and not even teaching in the usual sense. It is a field of consciousness, of initiation, a living transmission of spiritual maturation. This work exists for one purpose only, to guide the sincere seeker from fragmentation into wholeness, from confusion into clarity, from reaction into mastery, from human limitation into divine participation. The deeper purpose of this book is spiritual alignment with truth, with universal law, and with your own divine nature, and with the living structure of creation itself. It invites you to step out of illusion and into direct perception of reality, not as belief but as lived experience. At the heart of this teaching lies a profound recognition. Human life is not accidental, human consciousness is not complete, and spiritual development is not optional for those who seek freedom. The book reveals that what most people call life is only a transitional phase, a training ground in which the soul learns balance, clarity, love, power, and responsibility. It shows that suffering, confusion, inner conflict, and limitation are not punishments. They are signs of imbalance within the human system, and therefore they can be transformed. This is the path of conscious evolution. Several great themes unfold throughout the text, each opening a gateway into deeper understanding. One central theme is the unveiling of illusion. Human beings perceive surfaces, differences, and separations. But beneath these outer forms lies unity. One origin, one structure, one living order of creation. What appears divided is rooted in wholeness. What appears chaotic is governed by law. What appears random is part of an immense evolutionary movement. To see this clearly is already initiation, because illusion is not merely philosophical error. Illusion shapes perception, decision, identity, and destiny. To remove illusion is to awaken. Another great theme is the lawfulness of spiritual development. Freedom is not simply given, it must be realized through the maturation of consciousness. True freedom arises only when knowledge, wisdom, love, and power are developed together. Without knowledge, one cannot see clearly. Without wisdom, one cannot choose rightly. Without love, one cannot perceive unity. And without power, one cannot act. Spiritual training therefore becomes the process through which human potential becomes actually capacity. The path is not belief, it is transformation. The book also reveals the energetic anatomy of the human being. You are not merely physical, you are an integrated system of energies, centers, flows, and subtle structures. When energy flows harmoniously, life expresses health, clarity, and balance. When energy stagnates, distorts, or accumulates improperly, disorder appears, psychologically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Spiritual work therefore includes purification, activation, balancing, and refinement of the inner system. Meditation, concentration, love, awareness, and discipline training become instruments of energetic reordering. Healing is not accidental, it is structural. A particularly powerful teaching concerns the transformation through love. Love is presented not as emotion alone, but as a universal force, a dissolving power, a harmonizing intelligence, a unifying presence. Love heals fragmentation. Love integrates rejected aspects of the soul. Love restores wholeness. Love reconnects the human being with the divine current of life. In this path, love is medicine, method, and realization. Another profound dimension of the book is the development of spiritual discernment. The seeker must learn to differentiate between balance and imbalance, constructive and destructive forces, genuine unity and false equivalence, maturity and immaturity, light and deficiency. This capacity to differentiate, sometimes called sacred discrimination, is the crown of wisdom. Without it, spirituality becomes confusion. With it, consciousness becomes clear and precise. The initiatory journey described in this work moves through stages. First comes recognition of imbalance, then purification and healing, then strengthening and integration, then conscious mastery, and then participation in higher creative laws. Eventually the human being becomes centered, not emotionally reactive, not mentally scattered, not energetically unstable, but rooted in the inner center of balance, the point of divine order within. From this center arises true power, clarity of action, and mastery of life. Readers who truly engage this material may experience deep internal changes. Old psychological patterns may dissolve, conditioned identities may loosen, emotional wounds may surface and heal, perception may become more subtle and precise, energy sensitivity may increase, inner stillness may deepen. A sense of unity may gradually replace separation. At times, this process can feel challenging, because awakening always includes confrontation with illusion. But what is released was never truly you. What remains is essence. Why are these teachings relevant today? Because modern humanity is powerful but immature, connected but fragmented, informed but not wise, and stimulated but not centered. External complexity has increased faster than inner development. Without inner mastery, power becomes destructive. Without discernment, information becomes confusion. Without balance, freedom becomes chaos. The teachings of this book restore proportion. They reintroduce lawfulness. They rebuild the foundation of conscious evolution. They are not ancient relics, they are urgently contemporary. This book is for the sincere seeker, for those who feel that life must have deeper structure, for those who sense that consciousness can unfold further, for those willing to transform rather than merely believe, for those ready to take responsibility for their own evolution, for those who wish not only to understand reality but to participate consciously in it. Ultimately, this work supports awakening, inner mastery, and conscious evolution by guiding the seeker toward integration. The integration of mind, soul, and body, of energy and awareness, of individuality and unity, of human nature and divine essence. When integration is complete, perfection is not an ideal, it becomes a living process. Now, as we come to the threshold of silence, if you feel resonance with these teachings, if something within you recognizes this path, then allow this to be only the beginning. You may enter this field more deeply by reading the book itself, slowly, contemplatively, receptively. If you wish structured guidance, deeper exercises, and living transmission, you may continue your training through For Mystics. And if your heart calls you to a path of ongoing initiation, brotherhood, and conscious spiritual evolution, you are welcome to walk further within Ordo Mysticus, not as followers, but as conscious participants in awakening. May your path unfold in clarity, in strength, in love, and in living unity with the Divine. Love, light and service, I am Ray del Sol.